I'm sure you all are excited for this movie. All 40 of us were indeed good and talented, but the best of best were to be selected for this play. The first step towards this, the auditions, were held on the 6th of July. All the interested actors for the role of each character were judged in a fair manner by the entire class, and the final roles were assigned on the 7th of July. To make this movie more realistic, appropriate audio and voices were to be given. This was done under the guidance of the director Karthik and Pallavi and also the characters Rashmi and Swati. Thus, the audio recording was done on July 12th. Now, the final and the main ingredient for a successful movie is acting. The trial for the entire movie was done in our producer Sudeepti's house on July 13th. The actual shoot took place in our director Pallavi's house on 2nd and 3rd August. Each one of us has contributed directly and indirectly to put up this amazing play. So here we present before you The Dear Departed by VR1.
Will you? I'm amazed at you, Victoria. I really am. How you can gallivanting about in the street with your grandfather lying dead and cold upstairs, I don't know. Be off now and change your dress before your Aunt Elizabeth and your Uncle Ben come home. It would never do for them to find you in colors. What are they coming for? They haven't been here for ages. They are coming to talk over poor grandfather's affairs. Your father sent them a telegram as soon as we found he was dead. Good gracious, that's never them. No, thank goodness, it's only your father.
Haven't they arrived yet?
You can see they haven't, can't you? Now, Victoria, be off upstairs and that quick. Put your white frock on with a black sash. I'm not satisfied, but it's the best we can do till our new black's ready. And Ben and Elizabeth will never have thought about mourning it, so we'll outshine them there. Get your boots off, Henry. Elizabeth's that crying, she notices the least speck of dirt.
I'm wondering if they'll come at all. When you and Elizabeth quarreled, she said she'll never set foot in your house again.
She'll come fast enough after her share of what grandfather's left. You know how hard she can be when she likes. Where she gets it from, I can't tell.
I suppose it is in the family.
What do you mean by that, Henry Slater?
I was referring to your father, not to you. Where are my slippers?
In the kitchen, but you want a new pair. Those old ones are nearly worn out. You don't seem to realize what it's costing me to bear up like how I'm doing. My heart's fit to break when I see the little trifles that belong to grandfather lying around and think he'll never use them again. Here, you'd better wear these slippers of grandfather's now. It's lucky he just got a new pair. Elizabeth's that sharp, she'll see I'm after it and she'll drive a hard bargain over it. What it is to have a low money grubbing spirit?
Perhaps she's got her eye on you as well.
She's never been here since grandfather bought it. If it was only down here, instead of in his room, she'd never guess it wasn't our own.
Amelia!
Henry, why shouldn't we bring that bureau down here? We could do it before they come.
I wouldn't care.
Don't look so daft. Why not?
Doesn't seem delicate, somehow.
We could put that shabby old chest of drawers upstairs where the bureau is now. Elizabeth could have that and welcome. I've always wanted to get rid of it.
Suppose they come when we are doing it.
I'll fasten the front door. Get your coat off, Henry. We'll change it. I'll run up and move the chairs out of the way. Will you fasten my frock up the back, Mother? I'm busy. Get your father to do it. What have you got your coat off for, Father?
Mother and me is going to bring grandfather's bureau down here.
Are we finishing it before Aunt Elizabeth comes?
No, child. Grandpa gave it to your mother before he died.
This morning?
Yes.
He was drunk this morning.
You mustn't ever say he was drunk now.
I thought I'd fixed this down as well. Our clocks were nothing and this always appealed to me. That's Grandpa's clock. Shh, be quiet. It's our room. Mr. M. Victoria, don't breathe a word to your aunt about the clock and the bureau. I thought we'd fixed it. Victoria, if that's your aunt and uncle, you're not to open the door. Mother, it's them. You're not to open the door till I come down. Let them knock away. Mind the wall, Henry. That was a near thing. Open the door, Victoria. Now, Henry, get your coat on.
You know how much plaster off the wall?
Never mind the plaster. Do I look alright? Take this and sit down. Amelia, and he's gone at last. Yes, he's gone. He was 72, a fortnight last Sunday.
Now, Amelia, you mustn't give way. We've all got to die some time or other. It might have been worse.
I don't see how.
It might have been one of us.
It's taken you a long time to get here, Elizabeth.
Oh, I couldn't do it. I really couldn't do it. Couldn't do what? I couldn't start without getting the morning. We have ordered ours, you may be sure, and never could fancy buying ready-made things. No, for myself it's such a relief to get into the blast, and now perhaps you'll tell us all about it. What did the doctor say? Oh, he's not been near it. Not been here?
Didn't you send for him at once?
Of course I did. Do you take me for a fool? I sent Henry at once for Dr. Pringle, but he was out.
You should have gone for another. Eliza?
Oh, yes, it's a fatal mistake. Pringle attended him when he was alive, and Pringle shall attend him when he's dead. That's professional etiquette.
Well, you know your own business best, but...
Yes, it is a fatal mistake. Don't talk so silly, Elizabeth. What good could a doctor have done? Look at the many cases of persons being restored to life hours after they were thought to be gone.
That's when they had been drowned. The father wasn't drowned, Elizabeth.
There wasn't much fear of that. If there was one thing he couldn't bear, it was water.
Ben! I'm sure he washed regular enough. If he did take a drop too much at times, I will not dwell on that now. Father had been merry this morning. He went out soon after breakfast to pay his insurance.
My word, it's a good thing he did.
He always was thoughtful in that way. He was too honorable to have gone without paying his premium. Well, he must have gone round to the ringer bells afterwards, for he came in as merry as a sandboy. I says, we are only waiting for Henry to start dinner. Dinner, he says, I don't want no dinner, I'm going to bed.
Ah, dear, dear.
And when I came in, I found him undressed sure enough and snug in bed.
Yes, he had warning, I'm sure of that. Did he know you?
Yes, he spoke to me.
Did he say he'd had a warning?
No, he said, Henry, would you mind taking my boots off? I forgot before I got into bed.
He must have been wandering.
No, he got them on, all right.
And when we'd finished dinner, I thought I'd take up a bit of something on a tray. He was lying there for all the world as if he was asleep. So I put the tray down on the bureau, on the chest of drawers, and went to awake him. He was quite cold.
Then I heard Emilia calling for me, and I ran upstairs.
Of course we could do nothing. He was gone.
There wasn't any doubt.
I always knew he'd go suddenly in the end. Well, will you go up and look at him now, or shall we have tea? What do you say, Ben?
I'm not particular.
Well, then, if the kettle's ready, we may as well have tea first.
Come on then, let's move to the dining table.
One thing we may as well decide now. The announcement in the papers.
I was thinking of that. What would you put? At the residence of his daughter, 235 Upper Corn Bank Street, etc.
You wouldn't care for a bit of poetry?
I like never forgotten. It's refined.
Yes, but it's rather soon for that.
You couldn't very well have forgotten the day after.
I always fancy a loving husband, a kind father, and a faithful friend.
Do you think that's right?
I don't think it matters whether it is right or not.
No, it's more for the look of the thing.
I saw a verse in the evening news yesterday. Past and forgotten by some you may be, but the spot that contains you is sacred to we.
That never do. You don't say sacred to me.
It is in the paper.
You wouldn't say it if you were speaking properly, but it's different in poetry.
Poetic license, you know.
No, that never